Stephen.
Basil.
And what?
You're back in the office with me.
What are you saying? I'm not in the office. I'm in the podcast room. Mate.
You're in the podcast room. How was your trip? Barry, off the phone. He's put a car on just to see what it's saying. And he's engrossed. Barry, can you come off your phone, please? While he's doing that, I'll do the partners. You're such a fucking ignorant bastard, Barry. Don't know why people like you. So, welcome back, podcast 248. We are going to talk about a visit to a wholesaler. We're going to talk about our latest wholesaler that's come on as a partner. We're going to talk about all of our partners, and we're going to talk about what's coming up over the next few months to watch out for, what to do, how are your grow rooms going, are you indoors, are you outdoors? A shout out that I would love to get a commercial strawberry or tomato or lettuce hydroponic farmer onto the podcast, because we've had a few requests for a commercial cultivator to come on and talk about where they are and what they do and what they use. So that's of some interest. So if you know anyone, please shout them out. We're going to get them on the podcast. And we're going to get into some details about growing and the next few months, what to watch out for, some deals, get right back into the swing of things. Now it's week 4, every week. We're back into it.
All good? Ready to go? Turn my voice up a little bit. Oh, got that. Everyone watching, the whole family.
Are you ready to go? Are you built to be in the house that I built, in the booth that I built?
I know people tune in every Sunday to listen, but even when business is good, we still manage to do the podcast.
Are you back with us?
I'm with you. I've just sent an email. I had to do it.
Bit of admin.
Admin work, yeah.
So,
reading my admin work, I wouldn't do it for me, so I had to do it myself.
Let's kick it off. CANNA Nutrients. We're going to talk about our brilliant partners. We have CANNA Nutrients. CANNA.uk.official on Instagram. CANNA-uk.com. Every product you'll need to grow a plant from start to finish. Brilliant for beginners, brilliant for the professional end users as well.
You do them.
All of them.
You've got a voice for ADO, you do them.
I should charge more. I do more speaking than you. You just talk over people, Barry.
Yeah, take no notice of Ian Collins.
Talk over people, not just Ian. Hey, listeners of the podcast were like,
listen,
love Barry.
These listeners love me.
Proven again.
They love me.
Proven again.
It's my podcast, not
Proven
yours.
Again.
They love me. They like listening to my
voice.
voice.
Seen your face, they'd run a mile.
They would.
Next up's AutoPot. AutoPot_global. AutoPot Cultivation Consultancy on Instagram. They've got 2 different Instagrams, global brand. CANNA have also got a global brand, to be fair, but they have CANNA Official, their whole world Instagram. And if you're in different parts of the country, I suppose I should really talk about their other Instagrams. You can go and find their specific Instagrams for your specific country. So go and check them out. AutoPot's website is autopot.co.uk. Instagram, if you want to see what they're up to on the day-to-day. Websites, all these people have got brilliant websites with lots of information. So if you want to get more detailed info, go and visit them. Barry, next.
Optic Foliar.
He hasn't had to put his glasses on yet, so we're going to test them because his writing's getting smaller.
I'm blind now, you know.
Optic Foliar UK on Instagram. They do also have a global Instagram, which is at Optic Foliar, and their website is opticfoliar.com. Spray with the lights on. One of the first foliar sprays that you can spray with the lights on. Brilliant product. Made up to have them as part of the podcast. DynoMyco. Now,
Michael off the Dyno.
I might have to kick DynoMyco off the podcast.
Why?
Because of a story I'm going to tell in about 5 minutes' time. You're going to have to stay tuned.
Might have to kick them off.
Yeah, might have to kick them off. I don't know if I want to be associated with mycorrhizae fungi anymore.
Why?
I'm going to tell you. DynoMyco on Instagram.
What?
At DynoMyco. And their website is DynoMyco.com. Stay tuned for why they could be getting kicked off the podcast. BudBox Grow Tents on Instagram at BudBox Grow Tents. And their website is budboxgrowtents.com. And last but by no means least, I'm going to have to shuffle this around, because they're always last, but by no means least, I'm getting fed up saying that. Garden Culture Magazine on Instagram and gardenculturemagazine.com on their website. Pick up a copy in shop or have a little read of it online if you want to be environmentally friendly.
Yeah, man. Online's better.
Go make yourself a cup of tea. If you're listening even, have a beer. If you want a soft drink, get a soft drink. Go and get yourself a cuppa, get a snack, and sit back. We'll be back in a minute.
What the fucking DynoMyco, lad? Let's go. What the fuck are you on about here?
I'm going to read this out. I haven't read this myself, but when I looked at DynoMyco and mycorrhizae fungi, it reminded me of this story. Have you seen The Last of Us?
No.
Good. You'll be terrified because this is a Sky News article. I'm going to read it out.
Read it out.
Headline:
man.
Killer plant fungus Chondrostridium purpureum infects man in India in world first case. The Last of Us, the apocalyptic drama that started with a fungal outbreak, raised awareness among the masses of the potential dangers of human infection. The HBO series, of course, took plenty of dramatic liberties, but experts say it's good for the public to take possible threats seriously. Fuck's sake.
Wow.
Just got over the C word that we're not mentioning ever again. Causes silver leaf disease in plants. Killer plant fungus infected the human and caused flu-like symptoms in what research say is a world first case. Chondrostridium purpureum causes silver leaf disease in flora, most commonly in roses. Spread by airborne spores, it's named such because it gradually turns the leaves silver and is often fatal. It was not known to infect humans, but medics in India have reported what they believe is the first ever case. The patient was 61 years old, received treatment in Kolkata, experiencing symptoms of a cough, fatigue, difficulty swallowing, and a hoarse voice for 3 months. Unlike people deemed most... I knew that was coming. Unlike people... You've just woke people up then.
He'd have been boss feeding his plants pure manure.
Yeah. Unlike people deemed most at risk at fungal infections known to jump species, such as those with cancer, HIV, respiratory disease, and organ transplants, the man had no history of illness. He was a plant mycologist. Watch out, mycologists. Which included working with mushrooms and various plant fungi. You've always said you didn't trust mushrooms, didn't you?
I don't like them.
Just didn't trust them. Blah, blah, blah. We will go through. I'm not reading it all out, but it says if the fungi can escape the phagocytosis pathway and are able to evade the host immune system, then they can establish themselves as human pathogens. Well, that is a distressing story. The few that can infect people do so because they can cope with 37-degree body temperature, and the medics in India also managed to culture the fungus in a laboratory at the same heat. It does tend to only affect people that are immunocompromised. Blah, blah, blah. I start to get really into the nitty-gritty there, but wow. Plant fungus, eh? Plant fungus.
Wow.
Infecting people.
But why is that got to do with DynoMyco, though?
Because they are mycorrhizae. They are a fungus that a plant attaches themselves to the plant roots.
It's a bit harsh to say you're going to kick them off the fucking podcast, mate.
Barry, it's all marketing. It's all marketing, mate. It's made people listen this far, though, hasn't it? You're still here because you were dying to know why we were kicking DynoMyco off. And now, as if any plant mycologists that I know, I'm going to become best mates with, because if there is a fungal outbreak like The Last of Us, then they're the people you want as your mates. They'll figure it out. Now, of course, not getting kicked off the podcast. They're our mates. They do great work for great plants. So if we use DynoMyco, they can outcompete other horrible mycorrhizae and make sure you don't get root rot. That's what they do.
Nice.
So where were we going with that anyway? We've kept you all here till that. You're still glued to your phone, Barry.
Lad.
Get off it.
I've put a car on eBay. I'm getting inundated.
Well,
Inundated.
Told you.
Shouldn't have
Turn
done
your
it.
phone off.
Come on, I'll leave it.
Rude. So,
sorry.
You're back with us. Nice for you to grace us with your presence.
I'm always here.
No, you weren't last week.
Oh, here we go. You fucking run out there. I've got rallying to do, you know. The people, the viewers, the listeners, they understand my need for speed.
Right. And who are you fine-tuning your need for speed for?
CANNA.
Why?
I've got to do it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why have you got to do? What are you doing with CANNA in your rally car?
Fucking super special stages with shops. White-knuckled rides.
I would announce the shops, but I haven't checked with CANNA that we can yet because I've got a sheet in front of me. Oh, there's some lucky winners in the shops, and they're going to go out for a brilliant rally day with Barry and his team of expert rally drivers, and then you're going to scare the fucking living shit out of them. The media team will be there to film it all with the GoPros and catch the audio of grown men screaming, and CANNA are going to post it all.
Don't say that, lad. You're going to have them thinking they're getting in with fucking Colin McRae. They're not. They're in with me.
Yeah. That's what your test day was for. That's what you're going for the day before. So
you've got to be careful with shit like this, though, like, because you can't just like get people in your car and go balls out. Everyone's got a family at home.
Are you insured?
Me. No.
Insured? Yes, you are insured. What do you mean? No.
What do you mean insured?
You've got your rally license.
Oh, I've got my rally license. I'm all like proper professional rally driver.
Fucking no.
But when you
are scaring people.
When you turn up at these tracks, lads, you sign a waiver, mate, to say if you roll and die, mate, it ain't on me.
It ain't on the
landowners and all that, yeah. Everyone's got to do that.
Yeah, you're not fucking...
You know what I mean?
You really put the pressure on now.
It's not pressure, lad. You just don't drive at the speed that you drive on your... If I was on my own, I'd drive a lot quicker because I've got to... It's only me that's responsible. The minute you've got a passenger in the vehicle with you, you're responsible for him. And the last thing I want is to become a passenger myself. You know what that means?
You're going to do.
Because when you're in an out-of-control car...
It's now got two experience.
No, it means you've now got the driver then becomes a passenger because he is not in control of that vehicle. So you just stick to a limit of
relate that to plants.
70%.
Relate that to plants for me. Like,
How?
Do growers ever become a passenger in their own grow rooms?
Yeah.
When
they don't take good care of things.
Like
everything.
Like bullet points for us. What are the things growers should be taking control of? If they don't,
environment,
a passenger in their own grow
feed, room. Vitamins.
You've done yourself in there by saying environment because you should have said temperature, humidity,
no,
air
it's just environment, isn't it? It's everything.
So, like, we've done this last week, and I'm not going to bore people by doing this every week, but it's good to make analogies. You can become a passenger in your own grow room, and there's nothing you can do once that grow room goes because you've had your temperature high or your humidity high, your VPD is not right. There's nothing you can do. You literally just sit back and watch unless you turn them lights off, shut it all down. You're gonna watch your plants go.
Plant steering, isn't it?
Plant steering. We're gonna do. I love the plant steering because it's where I learned the most. It's about irrigation cycles, temperature, VPD, humidity, drybacks, nutrient management, and it's all the steering wheel. So what I'm going to do is, we'll do this for next week actually. I'm going to write all the different steering wheels and I'm going to go back and research if you turn the temperature up, what does that do to humidity? What should you do with your irrigation? What should you do with your nutrients? And
for every adjustment on one thing, you can't just adjust one thing. So if there's 5 cogs, you can't just adjust one cog. You need to adjust the other 5 to cope with that one.
Exactly. I think people don't realise how, like, new growers especially don't realise the impact stuff has. You increase your temperature, your relative humidity is coming down. You decrease your temperature, your relative humidity is going up. Temperature and humidity affects VPD. VPD is fate.
Oh, whoa. Sorry.
His headrest's gone up.
Yeah.
Do you mind not butting in? I'll come back to the button in.
Did you read Ian Collins out on that?
No, did the fuck?
Gas?
No, did the fuck? Why? Because they said that they wanted, like, just generically to be dropped in randomly.
Did they?
Yeah. No, not them. They said, they were like, good feedback, to be honest. It's like, you do all of your partners at the beginning. People could just fast forward them. So he said, just drop random people in. And I'm going to drop gas in. May as well do it now.
I'm just going to butt in.
Go on then. Butt in with gas.
No, I mean,
you released a bit of gas before. It was terrible. Barry. He said it's all the good living he does. So, if you listened last week, you know that Global Air Supplies is a partner.
I've done it again though. I've butted in and he's gone right off fucking a relative humidity.
We're going to get back to that. Don't worry. I don't go off on tangents. But we're going to see how this goes. So people might have skipped forward. Boom, we're dropping in another partner, Global Air
When they
Supplies.
skip forward, what we should do is go back through the partners halfway through. So they think, fuck, what's up with that, lad? I've gone forward there, mate, but it's like, it hasn't moved.
I know. So Global Air Supplies are on Instagram at Global Air Supplies, and their website is globalairSupplies.co.uk. They are the ventilation specialists. Everything from intake, outtake, filtration, humidity, pretty much what we're talking about right now. They will sell the best gear for it. Brilliant controllers. Go and visit the website, because we're going to do a deep dive into each of the partners, but we just want to get some nice general chit chat.
Do you know what I want?
Out first.
We've had Jason on, haven't we, from AutoPot?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind someone from CANNA, someone from Optic Foliar, someone from DynoMyco. I know DynoMyco's out of
Ari will come
town,
back on. Dinesh and Steph will definitely come on. BudBox will probably shoot a busy BudBox. And
yeah, but even if we can get them on for 10 minutes just on a phone call or something.
Joe BudBox, by the way, I said CANNA's a global company, AutoPot's a global
BudBox
company,
is.
Optic Foliar's a global company, DynoMyco are probably the newest company we've got on, but are spreading the wings. They're in multiple countries. BudBox is just as much of a global company as CANNA and as AutoPot.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think I forget that sometimes. Like, they are in Australia, America, Canada, several countries in Europe that I will confirm with BudBox before I start randomly shouting out countries. They are a brilliant global company, all run by a family at BudBox, all run from the UK. I think people don't realise, like, they're probably the biggest temp brand out there.
Oh, they are? Why didn't you know
I say
that?
probably because I never want to be 100% unless I've got the fact in front of me.
Nah, they are, lad.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, they definitely are.
They've got their own, I can't really say too much. They're going to come on because they've got some stuff that they want to say. And I forget, like, there's loads of boss stuff that BudBox do that they just don't want people to, like, they're like, don't say it, we don't want to shout about ourselves. We're not like that. I'll get them on to come and shout about themselves, because when you know the stuff that goes into a BudBox, you wouldn't buy another tent. It's phenomenal. Anyway, I just thought I'd get that in there. Back to VPD and new growers who don't understand when you mess with one thing, it affects another. Temperature to humidity to VPD. If you're a new grower, you won't have heard about VPD, or you won't have come across it, because it's sort of temperature and humidity combined, and the pressure that the leaf feels to either transpire, which is lose water to the environment, or that's it. It's not either or, it's to transpire. How easy it is to transpire, which is lose water to the environment, or how hard it is, which means that they retain a lot of water and they drink less. That's what VPD is all about. And obviously you've got your nutrients. Do you go with low nutrients and high water, or do you go with a high nutrients EC level? That's the things you need to think about, depending on temperature, depending on humidity, air movement. You don't want high air movement because it affects the VPD at the leaf. It affects the humidity. Doesn't affect temperature. That's a good point for new growers. If your room is 28 degrees Celsius and you have no fans in there, or you have 5 fans in there, it is still 28 degrees Celsius. I think people think wall fans and circulating fans decrease the temperature. They don't.
Just move hot air around.
They move hot air around. What they do is make your whole room homogeneous, the same. So
rather than having hot spots.
Exactly. No hot spots, no high and low humidity levels. Everything is the same. And what they do is at the leaf zone, if they wicker away the water that's transpired, then the plants will drink more. So if your plant's high temperature, low humidity with a fan directly on it, you're going to come across problems. And then if you add high EC to that, even more problems. It's high salt, high transpiration because of your fans blowing on them, because of the low humidity, because of the high temperature. A lot of things to consider. So new growers, carry on listening to the podcast, because we'll make it easy to understand, but still relevant to people who've experienced, refresh your memories. But go back and listen to some of the other podcasts, because we've done 248 now. There's a lot of information in there that you can go through. So go from maybe podcast 100, because the early ones make me cringe now. Don't listen to anything before 100. Good podcast, but it was years ago, wasn't it? So yeah, plant steering, we're going to get into that next week. That was just a bit of a taster. So finishing off the rally, bring it back to where we started. Barry is going to go there the day before and he's going to fine-tune his car. He's going to brush all the little cobwebs off. And that's the day that he takes it slow. So you're all in for a shit show the next day. He's going to fucking fly round. And I've been round that course. There's some hairy fucking moments on it. There's one part where you're going over a jump. You don't know what's on the other side. You think like you literally, it looks like a jump and you're going to go into the fucking sky. It's horrific. When he does it at 90 mile an hour, it's not very pleasant on the bum hole.
It's just got to have confidence, Steve.
I'm confident now. I've been round it several times. But we'll be there filming, so it's going to be keep an eye on CANNA's Instagram because we'll be there.
Be a good day.
Going to be a boss day. Hopefully the weather's boss and yeah, it'll be absolutely brilliant. So Barry, I recently visited Growth Technology.
Yeah.
I signed an NDA because of a lot of stuff that goes on there.
I'd make you sign an NDA wherever you want. I'm
signed up to. yeah. You did fucking kill me once for talking about a piece of art that you bought. Do you remember that? That was before Isla. I remember where it was. It was in summer. We were taking the piss out of each other on WhatsApp. And but you know what Barry does? He's great at giving it. As soon as you give it back, fucking he goes to fucking level 100.
Yeah.
There's no in between. You'll start off at level 10, nice and friendly. You fat bastard. He'll call me a ginger bastard. It's all friendly. It's all stuff you've heard before. And then he'll go like level 12, level 15. And you'll follow him. And then he goes, no, level 100. Deep cuts.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I came back with a deep cut and he fucking didn't like it. he was saying something about what I spent on something. I went, I've seen how much you paid for the fucking painting in your fucking bedroom. He went, what are you taking pictures of me fucking art for? Fucking art. You fucking idiot. Oh, it was good that. Anyway, why did we start talking about that? Because NDAs, look how much you make me go off on a tangent. Yeah, I'm wrapped up in NDAs, but I know what I can't talk about.
So tell us about it then. Apparently it's unbelievable gaff, isn't it?
Yes, it's unbelievable. And they keep themselves to themselves.
Because you think of Growth Technology, it's not, you wouldn't think of them as being, not that you wouldn't think of it being huge. I never went, it was only you went, Stephen, went it, but they're just dead quiet in the background.
Keep themselves to themselves.
Yeah.
Don't get involved in the politics.
Yeah.
You know what you should be? More like Growth Technology. Not you, other wholesalers. Be more like Growth Tech. Shops, be more like Growth Tech. I might get t-shirts made. Be more like Growth Technology. Because they get on with the work. A lovely bunch of people. And I say that about everyone, but it's true. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't. Yeah. Brilliant facility. And you will see, there's a video coming out probably be out, released in the next few weeks. People who know their shit they don't do podcasts, but they will be. I've told them they're coming on podcast. People, it's a very female-dominated company, which is refreshing in a very male-dominated industry. And you know what you get with a female-dominated company? Pleasantness. Lovely. Lots of green plants everywhere. Fresh air. Little babbling brook going past as the windows were open. It was lovely. Do you know what I mean?
It was nice.
It was lovely. It was just, I can't think of another word.
What's the facility like?
Big.
Really?
Long. They just don't shout about what they do. And it's because they just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? And you think, I've never thought anything about Growth Tech. I've just thought, nice company. Always get on with the girls on the phone. Jonathan, who's been one of our mates for 10 years, he's never really shouted about how good it is. He's just cracked on, done his job. If anyone doesn't know, if you're a listener, Growth Tech is the home of Clorex. And I'm not going to say much more until they come on the podcast because I've got to be careful.
Let them talk about
it because there's a lot of stuff that will blow your mind. And I think Growth Technology should definitely be given a lot more credit. And if they did shout about what they do, it'd make the other wholesalers like, oh, okay. Okay, they're up there.
They're
Do
like
you know
an
what I mean?
assassin. Quiet one.
Just quiet, just,
You
going
don't
about
hear
their own
about them,
business.
though, do you? You just don't hear.
And there'll be shops like that as well. Just tick along, go mind their own business. They don't get involved in shit on Instagram. They're not involved in the race to the bottom with the prices. They just maintain a good price. They sell good products, and they're there for the customers. Same with wholesalers. Not that extreme. You wouldn't hear much beef between wholesalers, but there's wholesalers who are the racing to the bottom. There's wholesalers who sell on Amazon and eBay. There's wholesalers who are trying to do the best job, but still like get annoyed at other wholesalers and what's going on. We should all be more like growth technology. And that's all I'll say about that now until I potentially slip up. I had a fantastic time. And yeah, just what I will say is look at their product. If you're a shop listening, go and get the growth technology catalogue. Have another flick through. Like, just don't be taken back. There's some awesome shit in there. You just don't know about it yet.
But what else has been going on then, Steve?
So I visited there. Where else have I been? All over the place, really. All over the place. We're going to do a garden culture review as well because there's been quite a few magazines coming out. So that's something.
I was flicking through that catalogue before, to be honest with you. I was having a little nose through that earlier.
I think we've probably got quite a few to pick up on. So I reckon there's easily 10 articles that will really stand out over the last few months. I'd probably say there's about 6 months, isn't it, worth of editions to go through that we haven't spoke about on podcasts. So we're going to be going through those. And yeah, they've got some really good writers, so I'll be picking them out. If you can't wait till then, go on gardenculturemagazine.com and have a little read through.
What was Spanibus like, mate?
Didn't go, mate. Did you go?
No, I chose not to go.
Do
you know what though? A little bit gutted that I never went.
I'm not.
Do you know what I mean? Why? Do you know what though? I've seen it all. I've seen it all before. Apparently it was really, really busy. Do you know what I mean? But I've seen it all before. Do you know what I mean? But the only thing I was gutted over is, did you see that party that Monkey threw? Wow. Did you see it?
Oh, the party.
I only seen it
banners everywhere, didn't I?
only seen it on Instagram and that, like, but it looked good. They put on a good show, to be fair, like, to them. Do you know what I mean?
But so I was gutted.
Apparently, a few people who spoke to who did go said the queues were unbelievable to get in. It was
the after parties people raved about more because it was shocking. Yeah. So we were going to go with the media team, but I don't think they'd have had a great time filming because you need a bit of space. And
apparently, it was rammed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Great for.
Do you know why I didn't go? Was because the flights were absolute appalling. The flights were like, you fly out on a Friday evening and fly back on a Sunday morning. It was like, wow. You know what I mean?
Really expensive.
You can't even have like a nice bevy with people on like a Saturday night because you're up early on the Sunday morning to be at the airport.
You get down the Friday and
it's like, wow, what you do here? You know what I mean? It's like
we're definitely
waste.
going to go next year though, aren't we?
Yeah, there's a few others though, isn't it? We've got Summer Social. That's always a belter to look forward to. And we've got Product
Summer Social is going to be really good this year because it was great last year, but I know that they've managed to attract a few players like, well, I'm not going to say again, I'm not going to say, but
you've got Product Earth as well.
The people are coming to do a good show at Summer Social. And obviously 2 weeks after that, I think it's the last weekend or second to last weekend in August, is the Product Earth. That is a fantastic show. Very, very good. And every year with Matt Clifton at the helm, which he has been for the past 3 to 4 years now. He came from Facebook, very switched on, knows how to do social media, knows how to run a great show, brought in a phenomenal team, and they're doing really good things. So each year just gets better and better with Product Earth. So you've got those 2 UK shows to look forward to in August. But coming up, Barry, the point of the podcast is I wanted to just, time flies, doesn't it? It only feels like yesterday we were coming back after the Easter break. And now we're through the first quarter, January, February, March. Done.
Easter break.
Dusted. Easter break. Kids broke up today.
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're into April.
April, man.
Did the clocks go back catch it out?
No, to be honest with you, they
don't catch it out anymore.
They don't catch it out no more because everyone's phone just automatically does it. It's only the clock on the wall in the house what catches you out.
I know. The clock on the wall. How long does it take you to do the clock on the wall?
I've done it the day after.
Did you?
Yeah.
You done your oven?
No, lad.
Joey to come round and sort the oven out for you, lad.
I don't look at the ovens with
You
the
don't
time
know how
out.
to sort the time out on the oven.
Listen, don't
Nobody
tell
knows
me.
how to sort the
Built my
time
house
out on
round
the oven. I know you did, actually. Lad, nobody knows how to sort the time out on the oven.
I don't think mine's got the time. Yeah, it has.
You've got to wait 6 months until it goes forward again, and then you're good.
Nah, I'm sure it does it all the time. Yeah, it does. You know what catches me out? Get in the car for work and I look at the clock and I can't change it because I'm in an old, battered, clapped out van. And I get in it and I can't change the clock and sometimes get in it and go, I'm an hour early, but I'm an hour late. But I can't change the time. I'm in an old Ford Transit and only 3 buttons work on the radio, so I've only got 3 radio stations to listen to.
You've got greatest hits though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got greatest hits. Juice FM. Is it called Juice FM?
No, it's not Juice FM anymore. That's a Liverpool thing, so don't go into that too much. It's Capital now.
Capital.
Yeah.
Radio City and then 6.7.
So you got party tunes, you've got midweek pop tunes.
And crying your eyes out tunes.
Yeah. 80s.
When you're feeling sad.
I was listening to Greatest Hits this morning. But anyway. Moving forward.
Backwards.
How have you got through the last few months? How's it been?
Quiet, mate. I've heard another shop fell off in Manchester the other week, didn't it? I don't know what shop it was. I can't remember, to be honest. It was Monkey Nutrients that put it up, to be honest with you. Yeah. I don't know what shop it was. I can't remember the name, but I know another soldier has fallen in the field.
Has fallen? Another soldier has fallen in the field? Yeah.
I know another soldier.
As much as it's competition and
I know,
it's sad, healthy competition,
sad, man.
They are the same as us. They are people of our industry. They are people
it's not the last and it won't be the last as well.
Yeah, running a business, I take my hat off to every single person that runs a business. And end users, I'm giving you the heads up. The
price increases as well. This week, Blue Lab's gone up. Is it CANNA's gone up a little bit?
Potentially, yeah.
Dutch Pro.
Yeah, you know
Dutch
what?
Pro's gone up.
It's not just one person that goes up. Some people swallow it, but then have to do it in a few months later. Some people stagger it. So when there's one price increase,
sometimes I look at it as well and think maybe one genuine person has put the price up because of the.
It's still the
when
Russia,
you look at it, people say,
but
it's not just that, lad. Hasn't the minimum wage just gone up as well? So
tomorrow it goes up.
Tomorrow, so maybe it's the minimum wage, rates, lecky, material, everything goes up. So I've got to put the price up. But then I think some people might just do it to follow suit because they can.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen, but I feel like that does happen. Like 1 or 2 companies will genuinely have to put their prices up, and then other companies think, well, hang on a minute, we can put ours up a bit then because they put theirs up. So we're still on 11 play. We're not the cheapest now, but we're just going to follow suit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I hope that doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean? But
going back,
I do expect everyone's prices to go up because you think about it, man. Like you said, you're at Growth Tech, it's a major building and all that. Imagine what the rates are on them buildings. Like gas, I mean, well, obviously the Montmelon don't run gas, but electricity and water and stuff like that. The manpower, the fuel in the stacker trucks, if they're not gas, if they're petrol or diesel ones, and just the price of having their vans on the road, and it's the cost of living's going up. Do you know what I mean? It is.
Let me present an idea to you. People, and they have, stopped supporting their local shops. Maybe they get it cheaper on Amazon or eBay, or maybe they buy off the cheapest online store in the country. What happens when all the shops are gone?
Amazon won't give you the knowledge.
People, and they're taught to be, that's what we've got your podcast for. But we're giving knowledge out that we should give out. And when you comment, talk about this, we'll talk about what you want us to talk about. We do give a lot of knowledge out. But what happens when your humidifier breaks because you're in London, you've put tap water in your humidifier and it's broken and it's a few months old? What do? Do you contact the online shop and go, my humidifier is broken, and there's a bit of email communications, or maybe you can ring them up and have a chat with them? But when you take your humidifier back to the shop and he looks in and it's crusty white on all of the vibrating plates, he goes, you've used tap water, mate, and you're in a hard water area, it's a build-up of calcium. No wonder it's not working. Let me get a little toothbrush out. Scrub. Bit of, what would You use pH probe cleaner maybe, dissolve the salts, scrub. Use that, clean it every month. There's your humidifier. You're walking away that day with your humidifier working.
Yeah.
Just don't forget.
It's not even that. I thought you were going to go into the aspect of you buy it off Amazon, gets delivered to you, you're all great. Now it breaks 3 weeks in, just genuinely breaks. Now you're parceling it back up, sending it back to Amazon, and they're having to do, when you send something back to Amazon, it's not like
they do like checks, don't
they? They do checks on it and stuff like
fraud that happens with empty boxes.
So good luck 2 weeks later when you get your humidifier back and you don't need it then because you've missed all that period of needing a humidifier. Or worst case scenario, your extractor fan breaks. If your extractor fan breaks now, you can literally take it down, run back to your local shop and say, look, mate, it's like this. I've had it for 2 months, it's stuck the knock, and they'll just go, yeah, man, son, take it off. You give you a brand new one and it's done. Good luck with Amazon for the next week and a half with no extractor fan.
Because you know what happens with, when you buy stuff at the cheapest
I don't
possible.
really, I'll be dead honest, I buy bits offline. Bits, and it's only certain bits. I don't really buy clothes or anything like that online, just because I can't be asked. And I see some stuff and think, wow, that's cheap and it's nice that as well. Do you know what I mean? It's good quality brand as well and it's cheap. But I can't commit to buying it because I think I know what's going to happen. It says it's a fucking large. It's going to turn up and it's going to be a fucking large for a fucking 12-year-old boy. Yeah. And I'm going to try it on. It's not going to fit. I'm going to have to parcel it up and then I'm going to have to go to fucking a local certain shops, take them, don't they, where you've got to parcel it back up, send it back and all.
Do you know what I don't get?
I'd have to just walk into the shop and pay the extra 30, 40 quid for it and try it on and go, made up, I never bought the large, I need the XL.
You can tell me if your missus does this. My missus does a few times, but not loads. But there's some women out there, maybe even some fellas out there that do this. And it's like, wow, look at what your energy you're expending. They're looking for a pair of jeans or a shirt or a dress or leggings, whatever. They'll buy 5, 6 different things from online stores. Yeah. Try them all on. Keep on. Send them all back. Yeah. It's like, can you be fucking arsed with that?
Just walk into the fucking first shop.
Just try it on there and
just go, boom, try it on. Yeah, man, I love them. Because they fit nice.
I know it's all free posting and packaging and that, but that's a fucking
I just can't be arsed with all that shite.
So I'm going to give you a scenario as well, back to hydro shops, because I'm going to give you a genuine scenario. We're going to say the price of product X. Yeah, we buy it off the wholesaler for £25 and we should sell it in the shop for £50. Yeah. But nobody ever does with the RRPs. So most shops will sell for 45, knock a little bit off, because the RRPs are like, nobody ever really listens to them. So right now, £45, you've got 500 shops in the UK, less now, and they're making a profit of £20. Now, break it down. You've got somebody in your shop paying wages, and it might take, what are they on? Minimum wage is going to, but let's call it £15 an hour. So £15 an hour, and it takes them, talk to customer, talk about the problems, half an hour that they're with that customer, sell them a few other things. That's now costing wages £7.50. So now you've made £12.50. I'm being a little bit exaggerating, but you get where I'm going with it. You've also got your rent to consider. So £12.50 minus your rent, let's call it 50p for that thing. So you made £12. Then your lecky, your gas, your internet, the things that you buy for the shop.
Your phone lines.
All kinds, rates, everything we've just been talking about.
You're making fucking £3 on a product.
Let's knock off another £1 for that half an hour. So now you've made £11. Now, when you've made £11, you've got to pay your 20% to the taxman. So on that £11, you're paying to the taxman £2.20. So out that £11, you're now making £8.80. So you've made £8.80 profit on something that you could have potentially made the £25 on. And that's a £45 RRP.
Because if you go on Amazon and that product's £35, but
they've made
it's saved.
£3.
Yeah, and they haven't had all the bullshit of everything else because that person who's it's not Amazon selling that product, it's someone else who's paying Amazon.
Through Amazon.
But
let me say this to you.
Let
me say this to you just to finish off, because I will forget this point, Barry.
For £10 cheaper. Don't interrupt me, lad. You can sell that for £8 cheaper. Amazon can sell it for £8 cheaper than the shop can. But you've got no one to tell you, like silica. Amazon doesn't tell you, make sure you put silica in the tank first before any nutrients. Do you know what I mean? But when you go and buy it out the shop, any good shop, as soon as you ask for silica, you know that goes into your tank or into your bucket or into your res or whatever before any other product, you know. Do you know what I mean? I mean, some silicas don't have to now, though, do they?
Potassium silicate, you definitely have to put in your tank first, because then you adjust your pH back
yeah,
down.
So we won't go into a big thing over it, but some silicas, we'll just say silica can't go in your tank. It's got to go in your tank first. Amazon doesn't tell you that, lad. Do you know what I mean? So they're the mistakes you make. You know what I mean? If you go to a local shop, do you know what I mean?
With good service.
With good services, good customer support in there, and
that's a good point to make.
Knowledge. Do you know
where
what I mean?
I was going with it is, remember, we've bought the product for £25. Our app was 50. We've sold for 45. We're still making £8 on the product. Happy days. But shop fucking Y round the corner, or in Manchester or Birmingham or wherever they are, they can't compete with the service because they don't know as much, maybe, or they don't want to know as much, or they're struggling to get customers in. So they sell for £40 to try and drag the customers in. They've now made £3 on that product after everyone's paid and the taxes are done. It's all finished. They've made £3. The shop round the corner from them has got to compete even more. Sells it for £38.
It's like a race to the
bottom. They've just made £1. So what happens when you support those shops that are going cheaper and cheaper and cheaper? You know, when that product comes back to that shop because it's broken, how much effort and time do you think that shop's going to go in, knowing they've only made a couple of pound or a fiver? How much effort are they going to put into resolving your problem, getting you a new one, ringing the wholesaler going, got a product to send back, would you mind sending me out a new one? Package it up, send it back, get the new product, call the customer, your new product's arrived, come in and grab it.
Yeah, no, well, fuck that.
If they
That's
do
why
it,
sometimes people will come in our shop and I won't have, let's just put like a monkey fan. Let's just put a monkey fan on it. It's only a cheap product, 20 quid, 25 quid. But we'll buy a set off a company and we'll sell them all. And within 3 weeks, they start coming back through the door. That's me then, lad. I will not buy another one. I'd rather say to people when they come in, when they go, any fans? I go, no, lad. Can't find a good one that actually fucking works, mate. I can get them in tomorrow, lad. But I guarantee you now, you're going to buy it, lad. You're going to walk out the door and within 3 weeks, you're going to be bringing it back to me. And it becomes a headache for me because now I have to buy 20 monkey fans. I sell 20 monkey fans. Within 3 weeks, 15 of them are coming back, which means I need another 15 of them in stock to give to them customers straight away so they can walk back out the door. I'm in the hole already. I haven't made a penny and I've still got to return all these to that company. And I know the other 15 that I've given out are going to come back. Do you know what I mean? So I just think I cannot be asked until I see a new one come out somewhere. I'll give them a go. I'll go, yeah, man, order 20 of them in. Bam, we'll get 20. And if they start coming back through the door, I'll just go, nah, scrap that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Scrap it.
Yeah. I'll give them all a go. And then I just think, can't be asked with the aggro. That's why in the shop, and this isn't like going up highlights arsehole. This is like, I sell all king ballast because, and I hear other people saying, oh no, they just, we've stocked them, the fucking shite. I don't get none back. I don't get none back. I can stock a cheaper brand of ballast, a well cheaper brand. But to sell 100 of them, I need 160 in the shop because I need to keep 60 back for everyone else who walks through the door with the return. So I've sold 100, and I've made the profits off 100.
You're happy.
And I'm happy. But now I have to go and buy another 60 to do the returns because I don't want to say to a customer when he brings it back, oh yeah, I'll have to return it before you can have a new one. That's not how this industry works. I've got to give him a new one to keep him going. So I have to have another fucking 50 or something sat there to replace them cheap ballast in and out. And I don't need the aggro with that. No. And you as a fucking grower, don't need the aggro going into you grow and there's a light out. I've now got to unscrew that ballast off the wall, trace that wire back, unplug that, take that. Now I've got to take it all the way back to that shop to get a new one. You've done all that. As a grower, you've bought the cheap one to save yourself £10 on the good one. to have the headache of probably spending £10 in petrol to get it back to me, to then take another shit one.
Let's put it in this
fucking does
perspective.
me head in.
You are a minge bag, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a minge bag, yeah.
You love to...
Not a minge
No,
bag.
let me finish, because you'll see where I'm going. Minge bag, penny pincher, scrupulous with where you spend and what you spend. Now, for everyone listening, unless there's commercial farmers listening, you do this as a hobby. You do it because you love it. I'll tell you one thing that you don't scrimp and save on is your hobby, which is the rally car.
Yeah.
So why are you not scrimping? Why have you bought not the best bucket seats because they're fucking ridiculous prices, but why have you bought very good bucket seats? Why have you bought you've got some special gear, handbrake or gearbox, haven't you? Why are you not a penny punching on your? Why are you not penny pinching on your hobby?
Because most of my I do a bit of penny pinching on it, but it's not in the parts that's detrimental.
Yeah.
When it comes to safety, when it comes to safety aspects of the car, then I'll spend what needs to be spent.
Yeah.
To know that a big accident, the seat's not going to break. It's not going to rip the stud out the seat and the seat's going to move. The harness that I've got in the car is going to keep me pinned into that good seat when we have a roll. The roll cage that's around me isn't a shit roll cage. It's not a shitty bolting one. It's a proper full welding one. So it keeps me, do you know what I mean? The good fire extinguisher, good fuel cut-off, good everything. Because that's my safety net. My safety net is I've got a family. My hobby is a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
So if it does get a bit dangerous, I want to know that I'm not going to kill someone next to me and I'm not going to kill myself. That it's been a bad day, but we're all still here.
Yeah.
So it's safety. And it should be the same in a grow room.
You want to have a good time, which means like obviously safety. And we'll go for I'll go through the safety with some of the partners as examples.
In penny pinching in a grow room, you could say, yeah, all right, penny pinch, mate. Don't put cloth pots in, put plastic pots in.
Yeah,
don't put the fancy sauces in, put the cheaper sauces in.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. They do. Do you know what I mean? But as in your lights,
let's say your
extractor, your light hangers.
We'll go through them. We'll go through them one by one.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll use the
Don't
as
penny
examples.
Pinch them bits.
But sometimes it's not about safety.
Even say,
he loves it.
I'm going
to stop talking about cars because he loves it.
If you're a brand new grower, you could penny pinch your tent for the first time a little bit. Don't buy the cheapest. Don't buy the dearest. Buy the one in the middle where it's not the dear one, it's not the cheap one. And a little bit later down the line.
BudBox light is what you go for.
And a little bit later down the line, boom, upgrade that.
So on some parts of the car, it's not about safety because we'll go through safety.
Talk about my car all the
time.
It's
about, and you know what, the good analogies, that was what I'm understanding, it's good analogies. And a lot of our listeners love cars. So sometimes there's a belted exhaust to go with. Because it's your hobby and you want to enjoy what you're doing, you haven't penny pinched on this phenomenal exhaust that makes loads of noise.
But
it's your
hobby.
I
didn't need that exhaust.
Didn't.
I could have carried on with the one I've got.
But you have a higher enjoyment with this new exhaust.
You've got to
and you get more
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to progress. So I bought that because everything else is good. So now I've upgraded that.
Safety and progression. CANNA. You're not going to, there's all nutrients work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to, I wouldn't say it's safety to use CANNA, but for an experienced grower, it's not safe to use CANNA, but for a new grower, it is. Because if you're a new grower and you're not looking at your pH levels and you're not really monitoring EC or your temperatures, CANNA gets your results.
Yeah.
Whether it's very stable. So it means your pH doesn't fluctuate as much as with other nutrients. So it's a safe nutrient for beginners and it's a good nutrient for people who've been doing it for a while. What I will say about safety with AutoPot is about safety. If you go with a cheap system that can crack, can flood, with AutoPot, very occasionally some of the old valves would soil up if you weren't clean, which is grower end user issues, not being clean with your fixtures.
I would say though, what you're saying there is
bomb-proof now.
It's bomb-proof now.
Yeah.
It was bomb-proof then.
If you looked after it.
But the only way you were going to look after it and be told to look after it was by a shop. when you were buying the system, for that shop to turn around to you and say, are you using synthetic or are you using organic?
Yeah.
I'm using organic. Okay, well, look, like every system, you're using organic. They're quite thick, they're quite cloggy, they're quite this. You need to now add this into your system. Dutch Pro, keep it clean. What's it called? Flora Clean?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it called Flora Clean?
Yeah, from
GHG.
Yeah.
Like, that should be a retailer telling. Because if someone comes into me and says, yeah, I want a 5-pot auto, 6-pot AutoPot system, 4-pot AutoPot, I go, oh yeah, it makes sound, boss product. Well, what size do you want? Do you want the big one, the small one? What do you want? Yeah, it's sound. What nutrients do you run through it? I will ask them what nutrients they run through their system. If even on the 9 mil stuff, I will still say what like things you run through it. You know what I mean? And if they say, yeah, I'm doing organics, I still tell them, run that product through it as well, you know, mate, because organics are a little bit.
Let me butt in there, important point. You've got Flora Clean, which breaks down salts and helps keep stuff clean. But the product, that's like you've got to put that through to when you had salt buildup. You know, to prevent that, there's a product out there called D-Block. And not many people know about it or use it because it's just a very plain old bottle, paper label called D-Block. It's not a cleaner, it's a lubricator. So it basically, it creates completely safe for plants, creates like a bit of a slimy coating around your inner tubes. So when you're putting your nutrients through, rather than sticking to the pipes, which is as you put your nutrient through and it gets warm and the water evaporates off and you're left with salt, they stick, and that's how you get build up. You put D-Block through it and it just slips through. It's like lube.
Sounds like we're talking about something else here, Steve. This is a family-run podcast, mate.
It's where your mind goes.
It just made me think when he said you put D-Block in and then your nutrient slides in.
Just a filthy cat,
dirty ticket, you mate, honest to God.
But D-Block though, CANNA, it's a CANNA product, by the way. It's a CANNA product, yeah.
Even like going back, like we're saying about AutoPot, then it should be the retailer that asked that question to that person buying it.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't get off Amazon. Even CANNA, yeah, it's an experienced grower's choice and it's a beginner's choice and it's a safety net for a beginner. But that beginner should progress. If they're not using EC and pH pens, that should be their next goal. If they can't afford them products, then yeah, use CANNA. But progress to getting yourself an EC pen and a pH pen. Because not every plant is going to want an IEC. Not every plant is going to want certain pH. Do you know what I mean?
So it's like, so CANNA is...
So even though they have the safety nets, as a grower, you should learn to progress above the safety net.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And make it even safer.
So going back to, is it a safety purchase or is it a luxury purchase?
CANNA.
So CANNA is a safety purchase for a beginner, luxury purchase for someone who's experienced.
No, I'd say it's luxury for a beginner.
Yeah.
And it's safety for a beginner because the luxury
it's a luxury for pro.
It's easy to use. Dead easy to use. Safety is pH and EC sort of stays what it should stay at the doses they say. What I meant with
luxury is it's not the cheapest nutrients on the market. There are other cheaper nutrients.
It's not the dearest.
No, it's not the dearest, definitely not. So I'd see more, luxury and safety for CANNA. AutoPot, it's not an expensive system. There's more expensive systems out there. And I suppose there's some cheaper systems, but for me, AutoPot is safety.
Yeah.
Maybe it is luxury as well, but it's definitely safety. And it's one of those things that I would not
It's safety now that
would not scrimp on your
It's
system.
more safer now that they've changed the pipes to a bigger pipe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a good retailer will still ask the question when selling an AutoPot system, what nutrients you're going to run through this, just to put them to that point of you will get the best out of that system and it will not fail you if you're using organics. Just it won't harm the plant, just to run that through to keep everything good.
So Optic Foliar, safety or luxury?
I'd say it's not a luxury. I'd say it was safety that you can safely spray with the lights on.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, agree. DynoMyco, safety or luxury?
I'll let you answer that only because I'm a dead honest kid. I'm not
Give me
people
initial
who
thoughts.
say that they know everything.
There's a lot of people
that
like
say
you.
that they know everything about growing, and I know everything is, fuck all if that's the case, because
The more you learn, the less you know.
yeah, and I don't know. I know about DynoMyco, and I know about your fucking great whites, and I know about Biosis and Azos and Mycos and all that, but I know what they do, but I'm not in depth with it.
What's your opinion then? And then I'll
On
give you my
DynoMyco?
opinion. Safety or luxury?
I'd say it's got it into safety, but loads of luxury.
Yeah, but I'd agree with you. I'd say it's probably a bit more than a hint of safety, because if you use DynoMyco, you're very unlikely to get root rot because it's outcompeted the Pythium fungus. And so there's your safety. But your luxury is extending your root network, absorbing more nutrients or uptaking more nutrients. So yeah, I agree with you. There definitely is a safety aspect to it. Like, you're going to have a safer grow with it, but it is a luxury item. Like, it's looking it's not something that if you only had £500 to spend on your full rig out, you're probably not going to buy.
You're probably not going to buy
inoculants or fungi, but definitely it's got aspects of both. BudBox is an interesting one.
I would say there's no luxury. I would say it's all about safety.
Because of the thick bars.
Yeah.
It's not going to collapse. I'd say it's the opposite of DynoMyco. Lots of safety and a little bit of luxury if you go for the Pro.
It's
the white
yeah, and some of the tents have windows and stuff like that and all that. But I would say, and I would go to say that they haven't made it to be luxury. They've made it to be safety.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The
because
coated poles don't rust. They're 25 mil thick.
Yeah.
This is all on the Pro versions as well, by the way. I'd say the little bit of luxury comes from the white lines, the green viewing ports.
The luxury is you pick whether you want it white line, silver line, and that. Yeah. But
you're not going to be safer because you're a white
there's
line.
There's loads
tent.
of tents out there that have got silver, white, fucking everything. Do you know what I mean? But I'd say their main thing, if you ask them, what are you? Are you a luxury tent? It would definitely be 100% safety.
Global Air Supplies
everything is in that tent.
Global Air Supplies is a little bit hard because they sell a wide variety of products.
I don't know what you're on about, mate. I'm just going to butt in.
Okay. I was going to speak then and see if he butted it. Is a good banter. Do you know who's got the best banter? Ian.
We need all these on the podcast.
Ian's going to come on the podcast.
I'm just going to butt in every time he speaks. Do you know he had the cheek to
so
ring
did other
Stephen at the first? I was going to kick him off the podcast, I was going to say to him, I'll get rid of him.
Yeah.
Everyone on the podcast for years loved the bones of us. We love the bones of them. I am one of them people who will just speak bam, 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 bam. Ian Collins had the fucking audacity to ring up after the first episode and say, yeah. Just a little tip though, mate. He does speak over people though, doesn't he, Barry? Well, this is my podcast, mate, not your podcast. I'll speak over you. I'm speaking.
Sorry, are we not allowed to speak over the Barry?
He said something like that, but that was that's all I heard when you told me what he said.
He actually pre-noted it with, is it all right to give you a little bit of feedback? So it's not quite
what you should have said then is, no, Ian, it's not.
No, what I actually said was absolutely, because I want the best podcast on the planet. Give me all the feedback possible. What made it even funnier is, like, this is all banter, by the way. If you're listening and you don't know what me and Barry and some of our friends are like, we have a lot of banter. So that's what it is. But I went into the shop and I went, funny one. Barry's fucking spitting feathers because we talks over people. So I went, on the Veg Bloom podcast. I went, yeah. He went, yeah, I thought the same.
I can't help it, can I?
It was funny though. I thought you said nothing on the Veg Bloom. I was sat here thinking, he's been quiet today. It was late.
And you couldn't get much in because that kid has got pure knowledge. I was just sat here just listening to him. I can't even remember speaking. One of the other lads who was sat here,
Adrian.
One of the other lads who was sat in the background just listening to it. Even like, he said, even after he listened to it, he went, boss podcast that. I went, yeah, man, it was sad. He went, I didn't think you said a lot, but when I listened to it, lad, you didn't shut up. And I went, a few people have said that.
I'm going to have to listen back to it.
It was like, but lad, I felt like, not I had to do that. I've done it just not knowing because that's just me. It's who I am. That's what I do. I get excited. I just can't help myself. But I didn't think like I said much and everyone was saying, lad, you didn't fucking shut up.
I was like, listen back and have a little,
do you know what I mean?
have a little mooch. But going back to gas, safety.
Turn your volume down, mate.
Safety or luxury with the products he sells? Be
I'd
honest
say
now.
a bit
Be
of-
honest now for the listeners.
For the listeners, I'd say he sells a lot of products. Some of them are safety, some of them are luxury. So I'm just going to put him right in a 50-50.
Right, let's
because
go with his
some of them-
bread and butter, his gas-made products.
His gas-made products,
his filters,
are
his
more.
fans, his controllers, like proper, the bread and butter of his business.
I'd say, it's safety.
Safety.
Yeah, they are good. They are good systems.
Well made.
Well made.
You know what's a
robust.
shame? You know what's a massive shame?
I will say, and he'll probably agree with me as well, they're not the cheapest.
Yeah.
But it's for a reason.
Yeah, and I'll give you the reason. There's a product that he brought out, and it's a proper shame. It was probably, it was, hands down, by far, I don't say the best, but it was the best contactor.
With the trip on it.
With the trip on it. Very, very safe. You were never going to have a problem with it. I think a 6-way was going to retail for maybe 150 to 180.
Yeah.
That's expensive for a 6-way. You can get them for
But it just didn't
£80. End users weren't willing to pay the money for the safety.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't shouted about as much as it could. Maybe he thought, I'm going to spend 2 years just shouting to sell X amount. It's not going. He's running a business at the end of the day. It's not going to. I'm going to invest X amount and I'm only going to return this because only a few people buy them. It was the best contactor on the market. Safety switches. It would not overheat. It was a phenomenal contactor, and he's not been able to bring it to market because people aren't investing in the safety.
You know what I do like about him though? A lot of people hate him in the
Is
industry.
this the one thing you like?
The one thing I do like about him is though, and it's not crawling up his ass or nothing like that, he does bring a lot of new stuff out. Whether or not it takes off, it's a good product, but it just doesn't take off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It does bring a lot of new stuff out. If you look at a lot of other companies, like, tell me a new product, what's come out lately?
Clone X Pro Start.
Have you just done that?
Because there was a growth tech the other week and they brought it out.
Yeah, so that's tell me something else. There's not many new products coming out, is there?
Apparently, I was on the phone to...
I'm open. Remember, though, every week we'd mention a new product that's come to market and we're getting it in the shop.
Making it tough for the garden culture, new product spotlight.
Yeah, garden culture's getting thin. You know what garden culture reminds me of? The Auto Trader. When I was a kid, when we were kids, like 16, 17, buying cheap cars to drive around, and the Auto Trader was like the yellow pages.
Yeah.
No, it's not, lad. No, it's like fucking hell. It's like a fucking pizza leaflet.
Well, the garden culture's still good, though.
Yeah.
You've been, I know what you're saying with the Auto Trader, but the garden culture.
I'm not knocking garden culture.
It's the one-page product spotlight.
It's like us. He does the best with what he's got.
Yeah.
It's like doing a podcast on new fucking products. The podcast would be about 2 minutes long.
I know.
It'd take longer to read this fucking...
I was get on this for a funny story. I was on the phone to Paul from Icon before, and he was telling me all about Barcelona, and he went, just new products. He said he was on the stand again. I don't think this will be a secret, but I won't say which stand, just in case. He was walking past the stand, all Perspex up, all their new products in inverted commas. They had a new 5-inch squirrel fan or monkey fan.
5-inch.
And it was like, he was like, yeah, this is what it's come to.
Yeah.
This is the new product. And they were talking about growing now as well, obviously. So it was a bit mad, yeah. So he's bringing out new products. What I'll just say, if you are a long-time listener, you will remember 3 years ago when we had the Innovate versus Imitate podcast, the imitation has not stopped. And I said, if people carry on imitating and driving the price to the bottom, and when someone brings out a new product, people just copy it and make a shit version, people are going to stop innovating. What position are we in now? There's one wholesaler who's innovating brand new products. There's wholesalers who are bringing in new products, brilliant ones, but there's very, very few people who are making authentic, unique new products. And it's because people just copy them and sell shit. And I'll do another warning. And I was right 3 years ago, and I'm probably going to be right in another 3 years. If you carry on buying cheap shit online, the industry will go. If the industry goes, you won't have a podcast to listen to because there's no partners. If the podcast goes, where are you getting your information from? We're unbiased.
You know what we need to do a podcast on as well is there's new stuff out. There's new stuff out and the price needs to be firm. I think now on new products, they give far too much of a guarantee away on them. And it's ruining it for shops.
Yeah, ruining it for the manufacturers as well.
It's ruining it for them. I think the first person who done it is the same as everyone followed suit.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely, that's gonna fuck people soon. That is gonna catch up and fuck people. But it's also fucking shops.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You give a 5-year guarantee away on an item. That's £500. The shop makes £100 and that person brings it back 3 or 4 times. And it's like,
there's a reason why in the big corporate world, we all say, oh, everything breaks fucking after a year. There's a reason for it. It's not a good reason for the end user, but there's a reason for it. Is that it's business. The Ford of fucking, what's his name? Henry Ford. Last 30 years. There's probably a few, but cars don't last 30 years anymore. They're not built to break, but they're built to have a lifespan to them because they would be out of business if they made something that was impenetrable. Do you think if they really, really wanted to, as a one-off, they could make a car that never broke? Well, had a 50-year guarantee if you looked after it and serviced it. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible? Maybe not in cars, but in a telly?
Honda have done it.
Have they?
Yeah.
Which one?
Toyota have done it.
You're just on about like just well-made cars.
Lad, I've got a generator downstairs that's 15-year-olds. I could go downstairs now. It hasn't been started for 6 months, probably longer. I could go downstairs now to that Honda generator and pull the cord once, and it will go fire into life.
Great for you. Is it good for Honda?
No.
But there's this weird thing, isn't there? Great for you. So if it ever did break, you go back to Honda. But if Honda make stuff that lasts for 30 years and they sell to the people who will buy Honda stuff, probably expensive because it's well made, what happens when they've saturated the market?
You look at every other car as well. If you drive down the motorway now and you see a car broke down, it's not an Al Capri or an Al fucking battered fucking Mondeo or nothing. Get on it. It's a brand spanking new BM, brand spanking new Audi, brand spanking new fucking whatever. It's always a brand new car that's broke down. It's never what you'd expect to see. An Al fucking J-Reg fucking Fiesta pop with the bonnet open overeating. It's a fucking Audi or something. It is.
Can I just say something? You've said fucking 4 times
Have I?
in the last 10 seconds.
No, but just if you're out there and you look at a car that's broke down on the motorway, just mark my words, it'll be past the fucking... It will be past. It'll be past the 68 plate.
Yeah.
And it's broke down the side of the motor and you think, wow, I drive past in my Al tranny van and it's a tractor. And I just think
2015.
Wow.
Flying. Love it. Great yesterday. I put a big item in there and it just dealt with it. It was great. We're going to do something next podcast as well. I've got 2 fun things I want to do with you.
I want to go into more on like the products that are out with the prices, with the profit margins on them and the guarantees that people put on them and how it's affecting shops.
It'll be a few weeks, that one, because we'll have to do some research. But we'll do that one. So, plant steering coming up. Profits and products and guarantees. That's a good one, that. And
we'll do new products if any of you want to come out with any.
Yeah. But 2 things I want to do with you. You don't know about these, so you're going to tell me to F off. The next one for next week is I reckon we do like a £1 swear jar. We see if Barry can do a whole hour podcast without swearing. But every time he swears, he's going to donate £1 to the Royal Horticultural Society.
If I don't swear, you've got to donate £50 to whatever you were going to say. Okay?
Okay, so hang on. Okay, so if you swear once, what charity are you going to donate to?
I put £1 in the jar.
If I've got to donate 50.
Well, why is it all on me? That's like a challenge for me not to swear.
Suppose you've just sworn 5 times, like the last 5 seconds. All right, so I'm not going to remind you. And I'm going to wait till the end of the podcast.
But if I don't swear,
I'll donate £50 to who?
Charity.
I'll let you pick on next week's podcast.
Any charity.
And if you do swear, I'll pick the charity. Okay. And then the next thing I want to do,
Fucking hell.
bit of fun, this one. We'll film, because we don't film as much, but we'll film this one. It's a test. Like, it's a challenge. I want to try and do. It's going to be, guess the hydro product, but we're going to do it with the dentist's thing in, so you can't close your mouth. I've seen loads of people doing it as challenges, and I just think it'd be a fun one to do. So buy them, them dentist grills that make your mouth dead wide.
Our baby always puts me on them.
And we'll both put them in, and we'll create a list of 10 products, and then whoever wins has to buy dinner.
We need some free products as well off these
We
companies.
do.
Veg Bloom.
Yeah, we still haven't had the products land,
well,
have
we'll
we?
get them.
Because
Have
they
we
are
picked the
busy.
winner?
No, we
we
haven't
done
even
it?
put the competition
Haven't
out.
we? Well, we need to. Veg Bloom.
We need veg, so we need
What are we
veg
doing?
bloom.
3 full sets.
Yeah, we talked about it on the Veg Room podcast. To be fair, it's good. This competition will be better because more, obviously, people don't listen the day it's out or the week that it's out. It'll be 3 weeks by the time, maybe even a month by the time we launch the competition. There's still time to enter. I'll put it on our Instagram at NPK Live. Follow us. I should say that at the beginning, shouldn't I, with all the partners? The Veg Bloom competition coming up, and DynoMyco as well. They're going to send a load of samples to us. Yeah. So we'll basically, if you pay the postage and packaging, $5.95, we'll send it to you. They're going to send us loads of little samples for you to use. So that's it, Barry. That wraps up for today. Next week is the Easter bank holiday, Good Friday, bank holiday Monday. So make sure you get all your Easter eggs in, and you can sit on the couch, slob out, and listen to us next week.
Yeah, man.
Have a boss week. See you all soon.
Yeah, man.